All right, so we're going to talk about independent, dependent, and control variables right now, okay? So when you're doing science, you usually want to, what you're trying to do is you're looking for a relationship between two things. So maybe the two things are the height of a flower, and how much water you give it. So if I was to give a flower a bunch of water, what do you think would happen to the height of the flower? It'd probably go up, right? So if you give it a lot of water, the height of the flower probably goes up. So that's a relationship between two variables, okay? In science, we're usually looking for a relationship between variables as well. So a common thing that a scientist might try to do is, let's say you have a person right here, and they're really sad. That's a sad person. And they have malaria. You know what malaria is? So malaria is a disease you get from mosquitoes. A mosquito bites you and you get a disease. It makes you feel really sick. So this person has malaria, and this is you. You're a scientist over here. You got your lab coat. That's a really bad lab coat. Oh my goodness. Sorry. And you're trying to figure out, how do I get rid of malaria? So you're going to do something to this person to try to get rid of their malaria. So maybe you give them a shot. That's a bad shot. Or maybe you would give them a pill, or there's a bunch of different stuff you can do. So the thing that you do to that person, that's the independent variable, okay? And then what are you trying to do? What is the purpose of the shot? What are you trying to do with the shot? Exactly. So the dependent variable is the thing you are trying to do with the independent variable. So in this case, the dependent variable is curing malaria. Okay? So the independent variable is the shot in this example, and the dependent variable is what happens to the malaria. See how there's a relationship? Trying to find a relationship between those two things? That make sense? Okay. So let's say you give this person a shot. Let's erase this. Okay, so let's say you, as the scientist, you got your lab coat again. No, that's a terrible lab coat. I'm not an art teacher, as you can tell. And you give this very sad, sick person a shot, actually a pill because that's easier to draw, and then they get cured. Now they got a really big head and they're really happy. So their malaria goes away. That's good, right? So the question is, did this pill actually make the malaria go away, or would it have gone away anyways? That's the question. So in order to answer this question, you do something as a scientist. And here's your lab coat again. What you do is you usually make a fake independent variable, and you also give it to a person who is sick. So you make a fake pill and you give it to them, and if that person with the fake pill is still sick, that means that this pill actually cured them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it wasn't something about giving them the pill that made them feel better. That pill is called the control. So the control is usually, in a simple way, it's a fake version of the independent variable. So if let's say we go back to our original example of if giving a flower more water makes it grow. Here's your flower. Oh, that's not what I want. Giving a flower more water makes it grow. Instead of giving a flower water, you might give it something else that's wet but isn't water. Maybe you can give it rubbing alcohol or something. And if the flower doesn't grow with the rubbing alcohol, then you know that it's the water that actually made the flower grow. And so the rubbing alcohol is the control. That's the control variable. So it's a fake version of your independent variable. Does that make sense? Do you have questions? No questions? You get it? Okay, you can stop filming.